Hello, here we go again. This is part 5 of the second course for learning the trombone. If you remember, we start off with the mouthpiece. You'll need your mouthpiece to make a buzzing sound like this. So that's the mouthpiece. Make buzzing sounds with the mouthpiece. You take the trombone in your left hand, holding the thick part. This is the bell section. Then you take the slide section with the longest part towards you if you've got a brass trombone, or the black sort of hole towards you if you've got a plastic trombone, and you push one over the other or one into the other, and then you do up the catch. Finally, the mouthpiece goes in here, and then we have the trombone. So let's just practice playing the 3 open notes which you know so far: low, middle, and high. Low one. Middle one. High one. It's a good idea to just practice playing those 3 notes. Or you could do a different order. Or this one. Well, I'll leave it to you to make up some little tunes using those 3 notes. Now, introducing coursework sheet number 5. And there are some differences this time. There are some differences. Spot the differences. The first difference is that there is no reminder scale at the top. So I'm going to remind you now, instead of you having to be reminded from the sheet. So it's 1, 6, 4, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1. Just imagine it was your best friend's phone number and you don't want to forget it. 1, 6, 4, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1. 1, 6, 4, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1. Okay, so let's go through that scale. You can play along with me if you wish, or you can listen to me and then pause the video and do it on your own. Here we go. And down again. And you should have realized by now, after all these weeks, that playing the trombone isn't just like putting the slide in the right position and out comes the note. You also have to adjust the tension of your lips. And the higher you go, the tighter your lips and the faster you have to blow. So I'm going to introduce you to a new note. We haven't had a new note for a couple of weeks. Here is one today. So this is the highest note of the open notes. First position, and it's B flat. Here is the new note, and you go up to it, so you're going to need to blow faster and tighten your lips. And we're going to practice the note you already know and the new note, the note you already know and the new note. If you've got your lips too slack or you're blowing too gently, you'll get that note by mistake. And if you don't tighten your lips or blow faster as you go up, you'll go downwards. So that's not the way to do it. This is the way to do it. So look at the first line, focus on the high notes. And you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth note of that line is the new note. And you can see it looks like a kind of flying saucer with a piece of rope dangling down from it, because that's how it is written. It's written on what would be the sixth line, but when you come this, when you're going to put another line in addition to the 5 that are always there, you only draw the line for the amount of distance that you need it. You don't draw the whole line. You only draw it long enough to put the note on it. So here is the top line. So it's like half a scale, but it's the top half of a scale. Now, if you wish, you can pause the video here and you can play that 2 or 3 times, or you can rewind it and go over that scale again. Because I'm going to carry on to the Easter hymn, which is a piece of music which uses the new note. And in fact, it uses mostly high notes. So for the Easter hymn, you're going to need your lips quite tense, quite tight, and you're going to need to blow quite fast. Hopefully, you'll be able to play it in time for Easter. And I'll allow you to have a little rest if you've got that far. I have to say that this is probably the hardest sheet we've done so far. In fact, they are all getting progressively more difficult. So don't worry if you don't think you've got it quite right. You can do it again, you can pause the video, you can even go back to a previous video and do a previous lesson. And don't forget, what I've told you before is that there's already series 1 to 9 on YouTube. Play the trombone with Mr. Cole. Play the trombone with Mr. Cole, episode 1, 2, 3, and so on up to 9. So you could always go backwards a little bit and do some revision. However, I'm going to carry on from where I got to, which was here. B flat, B flat. Those are the 2 high first position notes that we started with at the beginning. Rest, rest. Rest, rest. Where there's a tick, you take a breath. Take a breath. Now I have to admit that's not one of the jolliest tunes I've ever played, but it's quite a good way of learning those high notes. Remember, B flat, no first position. The new note C, third position. So the first 4 notes. Good. So really, I'm going to divide this lesson into 2 halves, and we've just completed the first half of the lesson. You might like to have a rest. You might like to go back over it again, or pause the tape and practice some of the first two items on the worksheet on your own, but I'm now going to start the second half of the lesson, and for the second half we're going to revisit the scale of B flat. If you remember, if you've got any of those old worksheets handy, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1, they've all got this scale at the top. So, if you've played that correctly and you're quite confident with your ability to play that, let's have a look at the bottom tune, which is called Trotting Trombone. And Trotting Trombone starts off with a note on the second line, so that's B flat, first position, the lowest note of the scale. The second note is on the middle line, so it's which position? Fourth. The third note is on the third space, so it's which position? Third position. And the fourth note is on the fourth line, so it's first position again. It's the middle note, that's the low note, that's the middle note. Up here was the high note. Do you remember there was those three notes we started off today's lesson with? So let's have a look at Trotting Trombone. Again, it's not a bundle of fun, but we're getting better. Soon we'll be able to do some really fun stuff. And I hope you're still with me. We should be just about to start there. So I'm now going to finish off from there to the end of the page. So there we have the whole of that sheet, starting off with the high note scale, with the middle note going to the top note, the new note, third position. We have the Easter hymn, which uses the new note there, and then we revisited the lower part of the scale of B flat. You should by now know whether you prefer to play the lower half of the scale or the higher notes, the lower notes or the higher notes. Well, thank you very much for listening again. I hope you enjoyed it. All of the time you're getting better, and there's just a few more weeks to go before Easter, when I'm sure you'll be ready to play this Easter hymn all together. So I'll say goodbye for now. See you next time.